Today, we're gonna make a creamy, delicious vegan mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. I don't know about you guys, but I just love mayonnaise. It's one of my favorite condiments. I always have it at home. I can't imagine a salad without it. Take, for example, coleslaw. Can you eat a coleslaw without mayo? No, it's impossible. I love mayo on a hot dog. I love French fries with mayonnaise. Some people like it with ketchup. I like it with both. You got the white dip, you got the red dip. It's delicious. What else do I eat with mayonnaise? Sandwiches. I love mayo in a sandwich. I drown it in that stuff. Anyway, mayonnaise. You can buy it in the store, but again, look at the ingredient list. It's kind of questionable. Plus, you usually use eggs, usually raw eggs. Today, we're making a delicious, absolutely perfect mayo, but it's gonna be vegan, so nothing raw inside. What are we gonna use? So instead of the egg, we're gonna use something which is called Aquafaba. It's basically that brine that you find canned chickpeas in. But this is important. You don't just have to use the brine from the chickpeas. I've made this delicious mayonnaise using the brine from, cooked red kidney beans. What is this? Fazole bile maslava, butter beans and brine. You can use basically any brine, but again, I've had amazing results with chickpea brine, red kidney beans, and the butter beans. So that's gonna replace the egg. What else goes into a mayo? You're gonna need some mustard. This adds a really massive punch of flavor. Highly recommend you use it. If you don't have mustard, but you have mustard seeds, you can grind those and use that. I always add some apple cider vinegar for that acidic punch. If you don't have the vinegar on hand, you could just use some lemon juice or some lime juice. And of course, we need oil. Now I'm gonna use olive oil, but this is a cooking olive oil, so it's really, really neutral in taste. If you use one of those really fancy, gorgeous olive oils that I usually reserve for the salads, any kind of flavor note, it can sometimes be really bitter, you will feel in the mayo. So be careful. Take something neutral, and that's it. We're gonna need a little bit of salt, maybe some pepper, and that's basically all you need. So let's get cooking. I'm gonna show you a really cool method of how to make this vegan mayo in just like a matter of seconds. So before we get cooking, saucing, I'm gonna share some tips and tricks. First of all, what we're gonna use to make the mayo is this, what is it called? Like a hand blender, like an immersion blender. It's one of these things with with another thing. You kind of put it in, you switch it on, and it just goes crazy. We're using this today. Second point, I suggest that you make the mayonnaise in the jar that you're gonna store it in. So in my case, it's this work jar. I'm absolutely obsessed with these. And just make sure that your blender kind of fits into it. So then you just remove it, lid it, and it's done. Another thing, we're gonna be using both hands today. So one hand is gonna be holding the immersion blender thingy and the other the oil. And for the jar not to spin around and go crazy on your table, because this is a really slippery surface, I suggest you get like a wet towel, you put it down, and then you're kind of free to go. It's all very simple. I'm gonna write down the specifics of actually making the mayo, again, as I said, in the description, but just watch the beauty of it. It takes seconds. So now is a good time to give it a try. Oh my God, it's perfect. It's salty, it's a bit acidic, love it. It tastes delicious. Can you taste the beans, like from the brine? No, not at all. This tastes like perfect, creamy, delicious mayonnaise. If you wanna add some garlic and make it kind of an aioli, go ahead. You could also add some anchovies, and this will magically turn into like a Caesar salad dressing. This is a very, very versatile thing. As you can see, it's very thick, so the more oil you add, the thicker it will become. This will hold up in the fridge for up to 5 days. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I always really, really appreciate any feedback from you. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.